Michael McGee was the host of the event and also presented, and then many other presenters at this event. Just 5 to 10 to 15 minutes each presentation, one after another. It was an amazing event. Some great stuff that I'm going to go over here in this video very briefly. After that, we had a dinner just right next to where the presentation was. We had flamenco dancers and flamenco band there. That was amazing. Great camaraderie to see everybody. I always appreciate meeting everybody at these events and taking pictures, etc. Thank you very much for your hospitality. And I think my opinion is this event was very well planned and executed after doing several dozen of these events. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. In fact, thank you for our staff for putting on just an amazing event. I didn't get an opportunity to thank you guys on stage, and I'm doing it now. Thank you, Serbia team. Thank you, London team. Thank you for those consultants involved. You know who you are. I appreciate your hard work. Nobody gets any sleep during these events, just a tremendous amount of work. So thank you guys very, very much. Okay, so the presentations that were important at this event, all were important, but the takeaways, the NetLeaders new licenses. NetLeaders licenses are product focused. And the product is a CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Manager. If you use an address book, that is a form of CRM. You just don't know it. CRM is a very useful tool that helps you keep track of communication with friends and family or businesses or prospects. And so there's some specific tools in these platforms that allow you to manage those conversations and emails and support tickets, etc. That are very, very important in the life cycle of communicating better, generally with your customers and your prospects. And so that is the primary focus of the NetLeaders license today. With that comes free cycles, and that has, that doesn't change. You have the ability to take your cycles and submit those to the DOS.NET minting queue, and so that still is in place. None of that has changed. All of the licenses have access to this new CRM platform. Every license since the beginning now will get codes to activate these CRM subscriptions. And this offers a tremendous value for you license holders, because you have the ability, you get multiple codes depending on what license you have, and then you're able to immediately resell those licenses to customers and profit for the difference in the cost and the retail value of that software license. And so that adds tremendous value to the NetLeaders licenses. So the actual product is called Smart Business. That's the CRM tool itself. There's also Smart Tools. The Smart Tools are applications that help you build your network. And so you're going to see some very powerful tools for duplication and for prospecting built into the Smart Tool platform. And then finally, there's the Smart Hour, which is the support around those tools. So we understand that it's important for you guys to have access to support for these new products and services. Next was Alliance Pay, and Brian from Carta actually brought some people on stage, and they actually were able to do real transactions using their DOS wallet on the net to actually buy real products. Somebody bought a book on Amazon, and there were several other transactions that were live. And this is the proof of concept. This is, the first step in getting DOS Pay. DOS Pay is going to evolve in the next coming months to a full-blown payment platform on its own. Alliance Pay is an alliance between many different entities in order to enable those applications. So it's two different services really. The end goal is to have DOSPay in place to make that a service where that differentiates our platform from any other platform on the market, the DOSCoin ecosystem. And so the possibilities with that are very strategic and quite profound. More information coming soon on how the implications of that what that means to you guys as advocates. Next, I wanted to talk briefly about DOS 33, which are the token projects. I want to make it very, very clear that we will not participate or promote any token project unless absolutely all the pieces of the puzzle are in place to meet regulatory requirements. And so make that very, very clear that none of those projects will come to fruition until all the regulatory requirements are met. And so that is just gearing up to be another offering and value add in the DOS ecosystem. And so you're going to see more and more of these DOS ecosystem businesses come to fruition to provide additional value for the NetLeaders community. That's very, very exciting. DOS Wallet replaced Web Wallet. There's some additional features that DOS Wallet brings to the table, one of them being the DOS Marketplace. You're going to see all kinds of products and services that are curated to be part of the DOS Marketplace that you will have access to through your DOS Wallet. Some exciting stuff going on there. And then next is the next event on September 29th. And I can't stress enough how important it is to get to these events. If you see and talk to any of the leaders, they are all attending these events with their groups. And if you attend these events with your groups, you're going to see significant growth in your business. That's just the way it works. You get to see and mingle and commiserate with all the other leaders around the world, and you get to see firsthand of the status of what's coming next in the company, and you have a little bit of fun. And so the location of that event will be coming soon. They're finalizing those details now. And then finally, it is time for me to pass the baton on to the next host. And I think this is about episode 100. So I was able to produce 100 of these events for you guys. And we collaborated and listened to the community. And we were excited to announce that the host of this program comes from the community itself. He's the outgoing chairman of the council. He is a very calm, very introspective, a very thoughtful individual, has full support of the company and myself. I will be behind the curtain assisting in any manner I can, and I'm very, very excited to announce Vivian O'Callaghan as the next host of the weekly webcast. Vivian, take it away, and I'm very honored and pleased to have you take the reins of the webcast. And I will see you guys later. Take it away, Viv.
Thank you very much, John. Thanks for that great introduction. I'm really excited and privileged to take on this role. I'd like to say a huge thanks to John for producing 100 of these and looking after this for over 2 years. Takes a lot of time, effort, dedication, and forward planning to make these run correctly. So a big thanks to John for that first and foremost. Just very briefly, just to introduce myself, I'm Vivian O'Callaghan. I'm from Ireland. I've been involved in NetLeaders as an advocate for almost 2 years now, and it's been an amazing ride. You know, from seeing what was originally a vision and the various parts that needed to be brought together to create this vision and see those pieces starting to come, be first of all created, which we have done, of course, with the likes of the blockchain, you know, a 6-second verification blockchain, the creation of DAS Wallet, the DAS Exchange, and of course, most recently, Alliance Pay, which was an absolutely game-changing bit of technology that we have uniquely in our system. I've grown to love this and this company and what they've put in front of us as a network. What we have the ability to go out there and talk to people about. There is nobody that we can't approach with what NetLeaders and DASCon are putting together here. It's a unique and incredible ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that is built around technology, the absolute cutting edge of technology. With that, it's handling money, which of course carries huge regulation as expected, as it should. On top of that, it's based on cryptocurrency, which of course has ever changing and increasing regulation, which of course the company need to adapt to as we go, and they are. And on top of all that, we've got a referral-based system of distribution, namely the network. So we have an absolutely incredible opportunity that has been put together. We have this unique and incredible business with brilliant people working within it. And the other, as part of all of that, we have a network. And it's been an absolute privilege to be working with some absolutely amazing people in this network. I think, you know, I believe this network is probably the biggest and with the most potential to expand that there's ever been. There is some incredible leaders, and I don't mean just the people that were involved from, you know, 18, 19 months ago. I've met some incredible leaders in Barcelona that are only in the business for a number of months, but are absolutely killing it. So it's really amazing to be a part of that. I think we have the absolute best network team out there that there is. I think we have the best company out there that there is, working at the absolute coalface and changing how technology is working both within cryptocurrency and within the financial industry itself. So we're here to change the game. That's not always easy, and not everything goes according to plan. But where I think at times maybe things have fallen short is the communication from one section to the other. We're all in this together. I think at times the company are putting together some absolutely incredible things, but sometimes maybe the network aren't quite aware of that. I also believe that the network are doing some absolutely incredible things, and maybe the company are not aware of that. And I think there's just that little bit of communication gap. That's what I'm hoping to fill with this webinar going forward. I won't be calling it a weekly webinar anymore, because there will be times we may do 2, maybe 3 webinars in a week. There may be other times where it'll be once a week. But as it's required, we will run the webinar and get the information from one to the other. I want to have people from the company coming on telling us what the next thing is coming or what's right there now. I want the network to be 100% clear about what we have and what's coming and when it's coming. I also want to bring on people onto this from the network to show the passion that is in this network right throughout the world. I want to get these people on here to show and inspire other people to do what they're doing, whether that's people, like I said, who've been involved in this business from the very, very outset, or people who've joined last month, the month before, or people that may join in a couple of months' time. But there are incredible people involved in this business. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor meeting these people. I get inspired by people right across the board. But absolutely, John mentioned a while ago, coming to these events is absolutely, it's an opportunity to meet with the best and the people with brilliant mindsets. And so I think it's incredibly important now to bridge that communication gap, and that is my #1 goal in all of this. And with that, I'd just like to announce one or two couple of things. There's a newsletter coming out, a very informative piece on the Alliance Pay is coming out in the next day or two. And also regarding the CRM, which John spoke about, the Smart Business, a very important product for us going forward, both the product itself, but also how it links businesses into the overall ecosystem that's been created. This is hugely important for people to understand. So there's also a newsletter coming out around that in the next few days. On top of that, we have Dennis Wilson, the creator of the said CRM, coming on to us early next week. So there will be a webinar either Monday or Wednesday next week that will feature Dennis, and that's not to be missed. We need to have deeper understanding of what's coming out in that. There is a whole raft of information and videos coming out around that CRM as well. So there's a lot to look forward to, and a lot of communication coming from the company. So that's very much something to look forward to. On top of that, I have a very special guest here today. I spoke earlier about cutting edge technology, and it's a real honor to have someone of this caliber as my first guest on this webinar. This guy has been on the cutting edge of technology for many, many years with his company. They have created the first in their space for many different companies. He'll give you a rundown on that himself. No better man to speak about it. He is at the absolute cutting edge, and has just recently, we have had proof of concept in Barcelona of what is, again, brand new and game changing. Of 1,600 plus cryptocurrencies out there, there is none other has what we now have. We have proven concept of a payment system using Dascoin through the MasterCard systems. And of course, that will be rolled out, the cards will be rolled out over time. We will do another chat and update on that specifically at another time. But without further delay, I'd really like to introduce you to none other than Brian Simkev, who has worked with Carta Worldwide for many years and has really created a unique payment platform throughout the world. So first and foremost, Brian, very welcome to the call.
Thanks, Chris.
And I suppose first and foremost, Brian, of course, many people know who you are and what you've done, but for those who may not, I'd love if you could sort of give us a little bit of background of the work that you've undertaken with Carta Worldwide over the years and the cutting edge technology that you've brought to the table. Thanks, Brian.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about that, as well as the some changes that are taking place that I think are very beneficial for everybody with Rui and my roles and what we wanted to do. And maybe I'll give you a little history of Carta, where it was, where it is now, where it's going, and what our plans are for the future. So
that would be outstanding. Thanks.
About 10 years ago, in 2007, is when Rui and I got together and embarked on a vision that we believed the world needed more payments technology, because the world was going to change. People were going to use their phones to buy things. Banks, as they were going to be challenged by new kinds of companies. And so we believe that the world needed a next generation payments processing platform to capture these needs that would be emerging over the next decade. We were right in that we were part of the creation of Apple Pay. We are TransferWise's core platform. We brought out, as Vodafone expanded their payments initiatives, we created that technology. As other next generation banks, they're called challenger banks, started to emerge, we became one of the prime platforms for enabling that. And so we were right as to how the world was going to change. And we created a business that is really starting to pick up some traction. But now that business needs to have intense focus on issuing payments processing. And so for about a year, 18 months, Rui and I have been thinking about if we could find the right executive team that could take Carta and have it focus on the business that it's doing, and just do that over and over and over again, and get that business where it can be monetized through, whether it's through an IPO, an RTO, or an acquisition or something. That was the right thing to do. But in doing that, there was a lot of innovation that perhaps wouldn't be best suited in Carta anymore, and that a close alliance between Rui and myself and Carta going forward, where we provided a lot of innovation around the existing Carta technology, might be a situation where you have 2 + 2 = 5. And so just in and around the Barcelona event, Rui and I were concluding, we found an excellent CEO for Carta, we found an excellent CFO for Carta. And so right in and around that time, I brought to the attention of the DasCoin executive team what our plans were. And I said, and I believe that this will be very strong, very good for the NetLeaders team and DasCoin, is if Rui and I became even more closely associated with DasCoin by creating a new entity, which effectively uses Carta's core processing technology. We continue to be advisors to Carta. We are large shareholders of Carta, and we have every interest in Carta being a very successful company, and we want that to continue. But at the same time, what we need to be able to do is to innovate. And Rui, of course, is a master innovator, and so we haven't named the new company yet, but it will be named shortly. But Rui and I are embarking on a new entity closely affiliated with Carta. And one of the projects that Carta is subbing to us as effectively outsourcing that contract is the Alliance Pay, DAS Pay innovation. So where we were intimately managing that ourselves, we will continue to do that. So you will continue to see me and Rui at events going forward as we bring forward these innovations. So on the surface, it looks like we've left Carta, but in actual fact, really, we are still greatly interested in Carta and are closely aligned with Carta, but at the same time gives us the freedom to innovate and to do the things that we need to do, which in this case is very exciting. And one of the reasons why we did this even is a result of the NetLeaders team.
That's a brilliant point. I mean, for me, I think that the summary basically of that is your character are going to deal with the day-to-day running, where you get on and create innovation, and that innovation is very much based with what we're doing within DasCoin, both Alliance Pay and DAS Pay.
Absolutely. What is attracting us actually to be more focused on DasCoin, DAS Pay, Alliance Pay, NetLeaders, this team actually is the team. I have met some of the finest entrepreneurs in the world. I've come to a number of events, and this is a very, very motivated group of skilled professionals who want to engage the market and change the world. And our next goal is, now that we've proven that Alliance Pay will work and that you can acquire products using the MasterCard network, the next step is to get that card. There are 2 cards in circulation right now that are being used. The next is to get that card by the end of the year to everybody, so that people can use DasCoin and acquire products at POS devices, online, wherever you want to, wherever MasterCard is accepted. You want to be able to have DasCoin accepted. So by the end of the year, from a expectation, we expect everybody to have those cards. Certainly another 500 will go out in the next few months. That's step 1. But beyond that, there's a much bigger opportunity here. And the bigger opportunity is that really it's very difficult to do is to create a complete end-to-end system where you can actually spend, as you know, what we're doing with Alliance Pay is we are converting euros or US dollars through a very sophisticated electronic piping system so that it's acceptable at a POS device. But the real opportunity here is to actually spend Dascoin at a merchant itself. So you don't go through, and you don't need the MasterCard network. You don't need the Visa network. And so there's a technology that we have, that we are working on and need to continue to develop. But that technology will allow you to approach a POS device, and the POS device, as opposed to you giving your credentials to that POS device, meaning where you give a credit card and you stick it in a point of sale device, or you tap a point of sale device, this technology actually reverses that transaction so that the point of sale device sends the phone the invoice that needs to be paid. And you, as a user of this technology, would have Dascoin on your phone, you would have your MasterCard, your debit card, a number of different payment devices, and you decide that you want to pay with that product with Dascoin, that you can do that directly. And so that, but what we need in order to make that happen is you need entrepreneurs who are going to take this to the market and go to the merchants and to engage the merchants and give them the benefits, the financial benefits of why they should use this technology. And there are three primary benefits to using this technology beyond accepting cryptocurrency. One is, by using this technology, the merchant will reduce the amount of interchange they currently pay to the networks, number one. Number two, this method, where fraud takes place, is when credentials are passed to someone else. This technology reverses that, in which case you virtually eliminate fraud out of the system. And number three, the merchant, as opposed to waiting in many cases, some cases it's 2-3 days to get their money instantly. There are three major benefits to the merchants that want to take on this technology. And this, of course, when we continue to do this, will all get packaged up for you. But as part of, it's important to say that we felt the time for Rui and I was right to do this, because CARD is in good hands. It can focus on its business. We can innovate, and we can innovate with you. So there aren't, to my knowledge, any other organizations like this in the world, where you have a team of highly skilled professionals who have proven that they can engage the market and sell and create new products. So that's what is really exciting about this, is I believe that uniquely that this team, the NetLeaders team, have that ability to do that. And effectively, the result is creating another major payments network, which is very, very hard to do.
Look, this is brilliant information, Brian. And what I'm hearing is this. I'm hearing a number of things here while you're talking is, number one, I probably in my own mind back along felt that maybe we were nearly running after Carta to, oh, would you please do this for us? But what I was hearing in Barcelona, what I was hearing when I got an opportunity to chat with you, and what I'm hearing now is that ye are actually, ye see the benefit in this. This is a unique set of circumstances from both sides, and this is very much a team effort. You're becoming actually more integrated with Dascoin. You're becoming, it's a complete dedication from your side. I can see that you're completely dedicated to making this work, which of course is fantastic. I'm hearing that I have tile shops in Ireland. If someone walked into me and said, I can give you a payment solution here that will allow you to be paid in any format, not just in cryptocurrency, it'll be much cheaper. It's going to be faster. You'll get your money quicker. And by the way, it's pretty much blocking out all chances of fraud. Would you be interested? Well, I know that's a very simple answer for me as a retailer. So for me, this should be a very easy sell. But the one question I have, or maybe a couple, is this going to run in parallel with Alliance Pay? So in other words, Alliance Pay is up and running, it's fully out there, we've our cards, it's working, we're doing all that. is it this going to then happen that continues, and then we run in parallel, and this new version of DasPay is being produced and brought to the world?
Exactly. There's Alliance Pay will work without this technology. It's absolutely going to be a parallel project, not something that's in sequence. So we will be continuing rolling out Alliance Pay and all that, and at the same time, the hope is we've got to complete our agreements with Michael and his team. I'm confident that we'll be able to do that. And so the goal is to complete all of that. I mean, by the end of July, and then to get going in earnest in creating the product beginning in August. Just to give you some time frames on that, I have a couple of things I wanted to say, but this will be a delivery in 2019. That's all I'll say right now. It's a 2019. It's not a 2020 delivery. It's a 2019 delivery. But it's important, I think, that everybody here on this call and all your advocates understand something about payments. Payments is you need to have a lot of patience for payments because it's such a highly regulated business. But again, what I see that's taking place here with the NetLeaders team is the products that are being built, like the CRM products we are being brought to the advocates, are really, really strong products. And it says to me that idea of patience is understood by the leadership at DasCoin and at NetLeaders. And that's what is required. You need products to take to the network, and really, really valuable products. And so there needs to be a little bit of patience as these things roll out, but I'm really, really confident that the CRM initiative and us fitting in nicely with that business, that CRM initiative is key, and is a key difference between why I believe that DasCoin is going to be one of the key cryptocurrencies in the world and not some other ones that get started. They're all the right things, the foundational, the basis for the business are being all put in place. This is not a quick scheme to make a bunch of money in a hurry. This is although some of you are probably doing that, but this is a really strong attempt to move into some major markets, payments, crypto, blockchain, and create fabulous products that are really unique and different. And apart from the technology, you have the sales organization, which is second to none as far as I can see. So I think it's a great opportunity.
You've rightly pointed out here that we have an incredible network. I sort of mentioned it on the run-in, and they are absolutely patient, and they definitely get this. They understand how game-changing this is, and that's an overused phrase, but we are changing the game here in what we're doing, and we have a unique opportunity now with the ecosystem, with this payment solution in Alliance Pay initially. But it is also important that it also gets communicated effectively. And let people know how it works, what it takes, and how all that comes to play. That's something we're going to raise our game on. But from the point of view of the actual product and the cutting edge that we're dealing with here, Alliance Pay has been proven as a concept. The cards are coming, and there is no other cryptocurrencies has got this. There's 1,600 out there. Many have tried. To date, they've failed. So this is already a game-changing situation. But now we're bringing that to a whole new level. We're not just challenging cryptocurrency. Now we're going to challenge the other payment systems that are out there. So we are now, well, when I say we, I mean you, but within our overall ecosystem, are now going to be moving on to a whole new level with DasPay. And we're going to be challenging the financial institutions that are out there. And this is what people really, really must see and understand the vision, and of course have the patience. But you've given an overall timeline there. This is happening next year. This is phenomenal stuff. In the meantime, Alliance Pay is coming, and being rolled out. So we're in for a fantastic ride with this. And I think what we also must understand is there's lots of individual parts here at the moment. The blockchain and the wallet and the exchanges, all individual pieces. Of course, Alliance Pay is another individual piece. The CRM is another individual piece. But what we're going to start seeing over the next weeks and months, certainly coming into the end of the year, we're going to start seeing these pieces and how they integrate and how they all promote each other. And that's where this is going, and that's why this is game changing, and that's why what you're telling us there is mind blowing for anyone that can contemplate what you're bringing to the table, and that is phenomenal.
Well, I look forward to it, and I don't know where the September event is, but I'll try and be there for it. And
we want you there. We need you there, and I'm sure that will happen. And once we get it announced where it's at, we can make the plans around that. But what I'd like to do from now is, people, please watch this space. It's not just going to be Wednesdays, so keep your eye out for when the webinars are. And we really are going to try our upper game on communication, going both ways, from network to company, from company to network, and really make this an out and out a team, an unstoppable team with unbelievable products, unbelievable people running a company, as Brian rightly pointed out, an unbelievable network that really know what they're doing and how to do it. When that all comes together, there is nothing that's going to compare with us out there. Nothing. We have already changed the game, and it's only going to get better. With that, I have sincere thanks to Brian on short notice making his way onto this call. It's very, very much appreciated. I think he's given us a great overview there of what's happening in the background, how it's all coming together, and his absolute dedication to what they're creating for Dascoin. With that, I'd like to sign off. Again, say thanks to John for his comments and for the handover, for Brian for giving us a brilliant overview of what's going on. And with that, I'd like to say good morning, good evening, and good night, depending where you are, and talk to you very soon.
Thanks, everybody.